Hi guys, we're the Tattoo Teachers.
In bed.
But it's not what you think.
It is not.
No. Today our topic is stinky kids.
Phew.
Ugh. So anyway, if you're a parent, stay tuned.
We'll be back.
Or if you're a stinky kid, stay tuned.
With deodorant. It's that time of year, folks. So hot outside.
Oh my gosh, here in Louisiana, this is one of our hottest parts of the summer.
Matter of fact, today, I think the local weather guys are saying this is probably going to be the hottest day
so far
of
the summer
with the heat index. Temperature-wise, for folks in Arizona, what we're dealing with means nothing, but the heat index drives it up because we have such high humidity.
Yeah, it's really hot. And that's made us start thinking about when we were teaching and in the classroom and as a school counselor, you know, dealing with kids that are going through hormonal changes and things like that, and you know, that kicks in. And
what people forget about, particularly with young children, is that their bodies and the chemistry within those little bodies are changing constantly.
Exactly.
Up until, you know, they're people are in their 20s.
And as you know, little kids don't need deodorant most of the time. Little, you know, kindergartners, first grade, second, you know, they're little kids.
There's when babies are first born, you know, there's this thing, people love to just smell little babies because they have this unique aroma, if you will. And it's because they haven't developed sweat glands and those sort of things, because all of that is still, even though the baby's there, the baking process hasn't completed yet. Well, let me tell you something. When it is complete, it's for real, okay? And if you have a kid that likes to play a lot, especially if they like to spend a lot of time outside, holy cow. Yeah, we're talking about wet dogs, okay? So, unfortunately, in a school setting,
it's exacerbated maybe in the classroom a little bit.
It can be, especially this time of year, because I know teachers don't want to hear this, especially teachers in our area don't want to hear this, but we're just a few weeks away from school starting. Here
in Louisiana, in our area that we're in, school starts about that second week of August.
Yeah.
Mid-August, you're in school, and it's hot here in mid-August.
And even though the air systems in these schools are running at capacity, they're running just as hard as they can, it's just hard to keep up. And so if your child is involved, and if you're fortunate enough to have, especially with elementary school, if you're fortunate enough to have a PE program, and I hope you do, because it is so important, but junior highs, middle schools and up have established PE programs, and so those kids are out there, and even though the PE instructor's probably giving them a little break for the first few days, they're going to have to get after it, you know, by the end of August, 1st of September, and it's hot.
It is. Extremely.
And unfortunately, a lot of the kids we deal with haven't been properly instructed in personal hygiene. Which would be fine if they only stayed in the gym all day. Right. But unfortunately, because the way scheduling has to be done, somebody has to have PE in the morning. Even when it's still freaking hot, it's 80% humidity. I mean, our heat index today is going to be like 108. So that kid goes out and gets hot and sweaty, and then has to sit in class for the rest of the day.
Look, send your kid to school with some wet wipes, some deodorant, something. I mean, and talk to them about the importance of hygiene. You know, I know this is probably sexist, but girls, we see less of this problem in girls, I think. Has that been your experience?
That has been my experience. I was trying to figure out a way to zing you, but I can't. You're right.
I mean, there have been some, but girls tend to be more concerned with their hygiene. Somebody's trying to call you.
Somebody is trying to call me. It's probably a bad parent.
Parents, I don't know how you. I didn't have boys. I only had a little girl, so it's going to be hard for me to give you advice, but my advice is to sit them down and talk to them. It's better for them if they don't smell bad, because if they smell bad, you know, then kids are going to be kids and they're going to say something, and you know, it's going to be problems for your kid.
But administrators, do yourselves a favor, sit down with your PE teachers, and there's a unit in their curriculum about hygiene.
Teach that unit.
Yeah,
please.
sometimes they tend to kind of slide over that pretty quickly. Let's try to get that one in early, and then do a refresher, probably 1st of March thereabouts. But ask your PE teachers to go ahead and hit that hygiene thing pretty early. Not for themselves necessarily, but for all the teachers and students that are going to be sitting with those kids.
It's better for everybody.
It's better for everybody, and to cover that, and parents, it can be a tough subject, but
it is a tough subject.
But it can also be a good opportunity to share, you know, your own experiences. So talk about that. Talk about deodorant, and I know there's some controversy about deodorant and the chemicals that are used.
Exactly.
There are plenty of green alternatives, if you will, natural, organic alternatives that are available. Just be careful about what your kids put on their body and how it will interact with their skin. Just kind of do a little experimentation. This is a good time to do that.
Alcohol wet wipes work though, if they'll pat themselves down.
Yeah, if they'll use them, and that's the other thing. And we know kids, you know, you'll load up that book bag with stuff, and it'll just get stuck in a locker. We've covered all that. But anyhow, parents, if you would just try to address that. Start now. If your children are of age and you know that's going to be an issue. If your child is having PE for the first time, know for a fact that it's going to be an issue. I only had to deal with it a couple of times as an administrator. I can remember one case specifically that it was tough. I
hated that part. Talking to a kid
the young man that I dealt with was kind of in denial about what the issue was, and it was tough for me to broach the subject and get into it, but I had to do it because I'm telling you, it was such a distraction in the classroom, and our kids. Thank goodness, I was so proud of our kids. They were really trying not to go too far with this young man, but I knew the longer it went, somebody was going to say something. It was going to be ugly, and it was going to create some hard feelings.
Other problems, right?
It's going to turn into other problems. Yeah, exactly. So, anyhow, we just wanted to suggest that you start looking at this issue, especially if you have kids that are about to get into the upper grades and you're beginning to notice those biological changes. PE teachers, please.
PE teachers and parents, talk to the kids.
Yeah, talk to the kids and be diplomatic about it and kind of ease them into this thing.
We were there. We've all been through it. We've all had hormonal changes, and we've all been stinky at some point in our lives. And
we've all been around people who didn't heed that advice, and holy crap, what an impression that made on us. But we just wanted to, we know the time of year, you know, some of you guys are going to have to be dealing with that, and good luck with that, and hope that works out pretty well. So anyhow, just wanted to share it. Please subscribe to Tattoo Teachers in Bed. Please comment when you can, and share this with each other. If you're a kid, if you have a kid, if you know a kid, if you've ever been a kid, then you need to be subscribed, and because we've got a ton of things that we need to share with you, and we'll continue to do that. And for those of you that already are, we certainly appreciate it. Get that word out, and stay cool.
Bye.